the experience and the class comes in. He's not going to give in pretty easily. We saw 2 rash shots, 2 wickets fell down, but Babar Azam putting the work in. Understand it's not going to be a 275, 260 pitch. At least get that 250 somehow or a 240 and be competitive. And under lights, there is going to be some movements for the fast bowlers. That's where the 3 Pakistani quicks will be handful.
Into the 24th, 77 for 2. Talented man, Saud Shakil. Just only played 5 one-day internationals, and then Salim Aga, he played beautifully in the Test series against Sri Lanka, got a wonderful 100. Something had to give and something has, and it's Rizwan who takes on Gulbadin, but again the middle of the bat is not found.
This is the ideal pitch for Gulbadin, Ned, isn't it? Enough movement off the seam. This time Mohammad Rizwan trying to up the ante, coming down the track, but turning in his hands and to get a good going. And Rizwan should be the man forward. I mentioned about the inexperienced middle order, but there's plenty of class in that order.
Oh, that rolls along the ground. I do like the intent that Rizwan showed the ball before. Sometimes I think you've got to make a play as a batter when the run rate's sitting at 3 to the over. And I know the surface is one that they cannot trust, or they're not trusting, but you can go down the wicket and play a defensive stroke. You don't need to go down the wicket and try and hoik it over square leg, just to try and get Gulbadin to think a little bit more. At the moment, all he's doing is he's running in and trying to hit a length. Rizwan already, look, he's a foot, 2 feet outside of the crease. They're trying to create something, but Gulbadin is not leaving that area.
It's ideal bowler for these kind of conditions. You need the seam, enough movement to create that doubt on the batsman's mind. And Mohammad Rizwan is playing with the crease, batting in front of the crease, behind the popping line. It's not going to be easy. And Gulbadin Naib is all his defense, getting his chance, and he has put both his hands up and accepted that this is my chance, and so far has done a wonderful job.
His pace taken off. Oh, well, you know that he's a wonderful player, Babar Azam. But if form ever deserts him, we know what role he can play. He was operating our buggy cam earlier today and thoroughly enjoying himself. I don't think there's place for you here yet, Baba. We're still enjoying watching you bat.
Watching that, as well as one of his interviews, he said that Sri Lanka is like second home. So it's lovely to hear. Plenty of supporters comparing to Hambampara. That's you, my bottom dollar. Most of them are here to see Babar Azam bat.
That's his new toy. You say he said it's his second home. I tell you what, I think he'll be looking for a different second home if he doesn't get something that he can hit through the line on. There's some games being played here during the Asia Cup. Work to be done on these surfaces, I think. But again, I know it's a very tough thing for the curator because of the amount of cricket that's been played here over the last 6 weeks. 80 for 2. just what you want when you get drafted into the side before a big tournament like the Asia Cup and the World Cup. 2 for 14 in 7. That will get the selectors' heads scratching. Rashid Khan's just bowled a 4. I don't know whether Hashmatullah Shahidi will look to bowl someone else within this team, just to give him a couple of overs, because that's what cost them the other night, is trying to get the ends correct and which bowler to bowl towards the back end of that second one-day international. Having just used the 5 bowlers. Now that one bounces.
Talking about the bowling options, we've got Mohammad Nabi, has not been used so far. Shahidullah, another option, which I thought Hashmatullah Shahidi got it wrong the last game. I saw Shahidullah bowling in the Emerging Asia Cup, and he's a very fine left-arm spinner. Maybe a few overs for me. And the same mistake, Afghanistan, which he did against Pakistan, did it against Sri Lanka in a one-day up in Pallakali. Sri Lanka chased down, I think, something close to 310 runs. And Gulbuddin Naib and Fazal Faruqi was on the receiving end, bowling short balls, which is pace on, pace off. And all the Sri Lankan batters just kept on keeping on the head straight and trying to hit everything square of the pitch. Similarly, in the last game, when the bowler was bowling bad, probably Abdul Rahman